The Essence of Meditation. Chapter 5, Sleep Ability. At the very beginning of this book, I pointed out that the essence of meditation is to let the body fall asleep while keeping the mind awake. When you see that statement, you may ask, if meditation is just sleeping, isn't it a waste of time? I would like to answer that question from two perspectives: 1, the psychological benefits of meditation, and 2, the biological benefits of meditation. On the one hand, meditation is indeed sleeping, but the two are not exactly the same, because in sleep you lose consciousness, whereas in meditation you remain conscious. And because of that difference, meditation gives you the opportunity to explore the wonderful and magical world of effortlessness. As for the huge psychological impact and benefits these novel experiences bring to us, I have already spent a great deal of time explaining them in the previous chapters, so I will not repeat them here. On the other hand, asking if meditation is a waste of time reveals a common belief that sleeping is a waste of time. As William Shakespeare once wrote, there is plenty of time to sleep in the grave. In fact, many people not only see sleep as a waste of time, but also often associate it with laziness. However, if you knew that LeBron James, the NBA's top player, sleeps 12 hours a day to ensure that he's at his best in every game and practice, you would probably change your mind about how sleep can benefit you. Actually, more and more recent studies have shown that sleep not only plays an important role in physical recovery, but also in preventing disease and aging. In other words, those misunderstandings and prejudices about sleep may be some of the main culprits affecting human health today. In Why We Sleep, Professor Matthew Walker of the University of California at Berkeley lists interesting data to illustrate the importance of sleep. For example, in one of his comparative experiments, he found that a sleep-deprived person's learning ability is 40% lower than that of a well-rested person. There are many reasons for that, but the main reason may be related to the two-stage information storage process of the human brain. Specifically, the brain first records the information it receives in the hippocampus for short-term memory storage and then transfers that information to the cortex and saves it there for long-term memory storage. However, that transfer process is not immediate because it must occur during sleep. Today, with the information explosion, you are receiving enormous amounts of data each day. If there is not enough sleep time at night for your brain to complete the data transfer and storage, while emptying the hippocampus, that may not only cause the loss of some important information, but also lead to the inability of the hippocampus to accept new information. The same is true of computers and smartphones. For fast access, the data in use are often stored temporarily on a small memory chip, which is equivalent to the hippocampus. When you are not using your computers and smartphones, their data are permanently written onto a large hard drive, which is equivalent to the cortex, so that they can be retrieved later. However, due to some intentional or unintentional software bug, the data in the small chip's memory sometimes cannot be removed completely. When more and more old data accumulate over time, computers and smartphones will run slower and slower, eventually becoming completely unusable. However, when that happens, you just need to shut down and restart the devices to clear out all the junk data from their memory, and then everything will run smoothly again, just as you wake up refreshed from a good long sleep after staying up for a couple of nights. In addition to discovering the impact on our learning ability, Professor Walker also found that men who routinely sleep only 5 to 6 hours a night will have the testosterone level of a man 10 years older. We know that adequate testosterone is not only a must for good health, but also leads to increased muscle and bone mass, decreased body fat, and increased growth of body hair. In other words, a lack of sleep ages men by a decade in terms of wellness and virility. Not surprisingly, women who sleep 5 to 6 hours per night show a 20% reduction in follicle-stimulating hormone, FSH, which is critical for becoming pregnant. Adequate sleep will also strengthen your cardiovascular system. One piece of evidence for this is that every year when daylight savings time starts, hospital admissions for heart disease on the first day of the time change increase by 24%, presumably due to just 1 hour of lost sleep. Contrarily, hospital admissions for heart disease decrease by 21% on the first day after daylight savings time ends, presumably because of the extra hour of sleep. Furthermore, comparable increases and decreases occur in traffic accident rates and suicide rates when daylight savings time changes. Based on these data, when the public school district in Edina, Minnesota, delayed the start of the school day by an hour, it found that the SAT scores for the top 10% of the students rose from an average of 1,288 to 1,500. Similarly, in Teton, Wyoming, when the public school district made the same change, it found that the traffic accident rate of 16 to 18-year-old novice drivers dropped by 70%. Besides all the benefits mentioned above, adequate sleep is also crucial for maintaining the body's immunity and hence preventing various diseases and even cancer. Furthermore, since the length of sleep and Alzheimer's disease are both correlated with age, it may be possible to prevent dementia by sleeping longer. Today, there are many ways to sleep longer. The most common ones involve using sleeping pills or melatonin. However, one of many disadvantages of these drugs is that, while increasing total sleep time, they significantly reduce deep sleep, and hence reduce the quality of sleep. So, is there a way to let us sleep longer and deeper at the same time? The answer is yes, and that way is to meditate, because meditation is indeed a natural way of sleeping. If meditation is a form of sleep, you may ask, why bother with meditation when I am tired? I should just go to bed and sleep. Indeed, when you feel tired, you should go to sleep, not meditate. However, how many people in real life are lucky enough to sleep whenever they want? Every morning, most people are awakened by an alarm clock, whether they are rested or not. After a busy morning and a quick lunch, they start to feel drowsy, but they have to attend one boring meeting after another. When they finally get home at night, they know they should go to bed early, but they can't resist the temptation of watching dramas or news on TV. Eventually, they lie down in bed and start to browse on their smartphones. Most likely, they end up sleepless, even after they turn off their phones, so they have to set an alarm clock, hoping that it will wake them in the morning. That process becomes a vicious cycle. However, if you have some special ability that allows you to fall asleep quickly, anywhere, in any position, and for any length of time, without attracting the attention of the people around you, that would be awesome. Note that the challenge here is not only whether you can fall asleep quickly, but also whether you can prevent others from noticing you after you fall asleep. That is because it would be embarrassing if you snored loudly in the middle of a group meeting. In order to solve that problem, you must find a way to keep your brain awake after you fall asleep, or after your body falls asleep. Again, meditation is the answer because the essence of meditation is to keep the mind awake, while letting the body fall asleep. Not only that, but meditation also allows you to fall asleep anywhere, in any posture. That is because, as I have pointed out earlier, the first key element of meditation is to keep the body still. And quite possibly, keeping the body still is the only key element of meditation. In other words, so long as you can keep your body still, whether sitting, standing, or lying down, you can start meditating. To take sitting as an example, you could sit on the ground, on a chair, or on a couch without any restrictions. As for whether your eyes should be open or closed during meditation, or half open and half closed, that is your call and makes no difference. In addition, standing meditation, known as Zhanzhuang in Chinese, has become an important part of the traditional Chinese martial arts system. Many Kung Fu masters often ask new students to practice Zhanzhuang for 3 years before teaching them any real Kung Fu techniques. It turns out that the ancients were long aware of the relationship between meditation and fitness. Finally, lying down is one of the easiest and most relaxing ways to get into a deep sleep meditation. For those of you who have never tried to meditate while lying down, be sure to try it sometime to understand its mystery and fun. But you may also ask, if I am retired, I can sleep anytime I want, so why bother with meditation? That may be true for some people, but even if you have enough time to sleep each day, will you be able to sleep as long as you want? Leaving aside those individuals who are troubled by insomnia, can people who do not have any sleep disorders sleep 12 hours a day like LeBron James? Not all of us can sleep for even 8 hours a day, because as we age, our sleep gradually declines in both length and quality. In short, whether lack of sleep is caused by external or internal factors, you must find a feasible way to make up for it in order to maintain your body's health and to slow down aging. To this end, scientists and doctors have invented a variety of drugs and therapies to prolong people's sleep time. However, the easiest and most natural way to do that is to sit still and let your body fall asleep while you remain conscious. That is meditation, whose greatest biological benefit is to naturally extend the amount of your sleep time. Just imagine, if you know how to meditate, you can turn on your sleep mode at any time during those boring meetings, and you will not be noticed by anyone around you. What's more interesting is that because your brain is always awake during meditation, it does not affect your listening and understanding of the speech given by the boss, nor does it affect your answering other people's questions. As a matter of fact, you may feel much clearer in your mind and come up with many novel ideas during meditative sleep. If you know how to meditate, you can sit on your couch while watching dramas and sleeping at the same time, and that will not affect the next day's follow-up because you won't miss any interesting plot during sleep. If you ever have trouble falling asleep, all you need to do is meditate by keeping still and letting your body fall asleep. In that way, even if your brain does not fall asleep, it will not affect your next day's work or study. In other words, if you know how to meditate, you will never have insomnia, because meditation is sleep. Although you are conscious the whole time you are meditating, everything that happens in your body during normal sleep happens during meditation, so you will get from meditation every benefit you get from normal sleep. Although sleep is an innate ability in everyone, that ability is ruthlessly limited and weakened by the fast pace of modern life, as well as by your age. Lack of sleep creates a chain reaction of poor memory, reduced learning ability, increased risk of cardiovascular disease, decreased immunity, and increased risk of cancer. You may not be able to slow down the pace of your current life, and you certainly can't do anything about your age. However, there is a way to sleep anytime, anywhere, in any posture, without attracting anyone's attention. Moreover, it can make you look 10 years younger. Most importantly, it can make you truly happy. Don't you want to try that method? If so, what are you waiting for? Start meditating.